Guys, spring has officially sprung because Sonoff have kicked off their spring sale with a few new products which they have sent me for pre-review, including the SNZB-02 series of climate sensors. I'm genuinely quite excited about these because I've been wanting an external rated temperature and humidity sensor for my garden. I think I'm going to use this one out in my garden. It's fully IP rated and it tells you the temperature and humidity. But they've also sent me their probe version, which just does temperature, but it will do temperature separate to its own enclosure, which is particularly useful for people who like to make sure that their fridge or their freezer is staying at the right temperature, which is what I think I will use this one for. Okay, so let's quickly open one of these up and see what's inside. I think I'm going to start with the dedicated SNZB-02 and here we have a rather nice looking solidly built temperature sensor with a little peel off the screen. See if you can hear this. Always makes a good noise, that. And a nice little string for hanging it off something. Now to figure out how to get it paired with Home Assistant. A quick consult of the instructions because I imagine it will tell me exactly what I need to do. Oh, that's understandably stiff given that it is IP rated. And in here we have a little paper tab to pull out, and then we simply do this back up. And there we have it. Temperature in my nice warm study. Hit permit join in Zigbee to MQTT. You can see here that it's flashing and it's already paired with my controller. So now what's left to do, I guess, is go and put it outside.
As you can see here, I've looped on the little string that it came with. Sorry about my voice at the time of recording, my hay fever has flared up something rotten. But I'm just going to go and pop it out in my garden. I'm not really sure where exactly yet, but it shouldn't matter too much. As long as it's outside, it will get me a more accurate reading. So I'm just going to get my Crocs on and hang it here on the gym door handle.
Okay, now let's open up the probe version, which, as I said before, I think I'm going to keep this in my fridge to make sure it's staying at the right temperature. I already have a notification on my fridge when the door is left open, but it would be especially nice to have it notify me if the temperature drops too much in my fridge for any reason. Like if the circuit trips in the kitchen, this being battery powered, it would still report over Zigbee that the fridge temperature has dropped. So let's peel this off again. Should probably do that last, but oh well. Ooh. Just noticed something very nice about the back of this particular model is that it's magnetic. So that should sit nicely on the side of a fridge as well. So now I'm just going to pull out this tab. There we go. And it should go straight into pairing mode, and it is paired with Zigbee to MQTT. As you can see here, it's got a nice external probe which is built into the bottom of the device, so note that if you do buy this version you can't just take the probe out and use it like the other variant. It does only report temperature and solely from this probe. Decent length cable. I'll just hold it up against myself. Looks like it's almost 2 meters long, or 1.5 meters or so. And it seems to be pretty responsive. If I grab a hold of that, hopefully the temperature should start to climb pretty quickly. There we go, after a few seconds, that's immediately started to update to the new temperature. So you are going to know pretty quickly if something like your fridge fails. So now I guess all that's left to do is to go and pop it in my fridge.
So now let's once again make the trip downstairs into my kitchen. You can open up the fridge and see that it magnetizes up here, and figure out somewhere sensible to put the probe for now. Down the back here should be fine for the moment. As you can see, my fridge is built in, so it's not ideal, but it does close. I think for now I'm going to place it on top of the fridge while I'm doing testing so that I can get an immediate reading from the device itself. But after the initial unboxing, I did spot a few extra bits in this particular box. They had included these handy little stick-on Velcro straps, which means that you can peel back and place the device wherever you want in your fridge. And I've done another one further up for holding the cable in position a bit more neatly, and you can take things out and put it back in as you please. As I said, for now I'm just testing it, so it's not as neat as it could be, but I probably will ultimately put all of the excess cable and the device itself above the fridge up here so it's out of the way, and rely on the readings that appear in Home Assistant. But at this point, you might wonder what I'm actually going to do with all these temperature readings. As I mentioned before, I already have an announcement which goes off when the fridge door is left open for a couple of minutes.
Your fly is open, Geller.
But now I can trigger that alert based on whether the temperature gets too high in the fridge as well, which will catch the fridge being left open even if it's really close to being closed, or if the fridge fails for some other reason. I've also added a small icon which appears in the kitchen room on my dashboard, showing the icon and temperature if it's out of range. As for the outdoor sensor, I've been wanting to know the accurate temperature and humidity outside for a little while now, partly because the weather data is often a few degrees different, and partly because it can be unreliable if the internet is down, for example. And a little while ago, I saw a handy little helper in Home Assistant which helps indicate whether or not mould is likely to form. So having the required readings come from a reliable and accurate sensor helps massively to ensure that this calculation will be correct. If you want to see in more detail how I set this up, let me know down in the comments and I'll make a separate video on it. All that being said, these are a couple of great new environmental sensors that have come along just in time to spring clean your home automations. If you want to pick either of these up, they're available now on the Sonoff website, and they're doing a special promotion where you buy any 2 of them and you get an extra discount. So I'll put the links on my website, which will be in the description below, or on my profile. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, home is where the smart is.